Hey there, so this is episode 29. Holy crap, this is a real thing. This podcast seems to be going pretty well. Every week or so, listens are roughly doubling. So I know people are listening to this. But I haven't gotten a lot of feedback yet, really. Someone did send me a message the other day. Let's see what they say here. I'm trying to use fewer messaging apps, but your personal podcast is effing phenomenal. I listen to all of them, and it's really helpful. Helps me reflect on problems critically. Yeah, so it was a really nice message. And my mom told me that she listened to this, and a few other people have told me that they listen to this podcast. People seem it's really odd. Folks seem a little reluctant to tell me that they listen to this, almost as if they're listening to this to kind of like spy on my personal life, but they don't want to tell me. It's cool to tell me. I do this so you can listen. Anyway, I just wanted to ask for your feedback. It's kind of interesting with the Flippening podcast, when it had roughly the same number of listeners, it actually wasn't growing as fast as this podcast, but I got a ton of feedback. This podcast, not a ton of feedback, but the listener base is growing faster. So I don't know what that means. It's really interesting. I think sometimes you publish content and you just get different kinds of reactions. Like some content you publish can get you a lot of sales, but then you don't get a lot of comments. Other times you publish a podcast or a blog post or whatever, you release something in the world, and you get lots of comments or shares, but no one buys. Sometimes you don't get any interest at all, and that's bad. Sometimes you'll get a lot of shares, but not a lot of comments, and it doesn't result in a lot of purchases or conversions against your funnel. It's really bizarre the way content works and the way people respond to different kinds of content. So, not sure what's happening with this. I think, I don't know. I wonder if it's just that like investors are listening to this and like families listening to this and competitors are listening to this and no one wants to tell me, that they're listening. Or customers are. Anyway, I've enjoyed making this content. It's fun. There's a lot of tedious stuff I do. I would curse, but I don't want to do post-production. So there's a lot of tedious stuff I do. And this is a cool place to just share with you our progress. And I know our team and company listen, or some people on the team listen to this. I don't know that Nick does. I don't know that my co-founder does. But if you do listen to this and some parts have been helpful and other parts haven't, I'm desperate. I'm desperate for feedback. Again, it's really this odd experience where the podcast just continues to grow and people are silent. So I guess I should just take that. Maybe I'll just look at the analytics. Sometimes I'll post a post and there'll be a ton of listens, and other ones there won't be a lot of listens, and I can see when things get shared. So I'll just look at my metrics to get feedback from you, but that's not qualitative. Come on. Anyway, if you do have feedback, let me know. If not, I guess given the growth of this show or whatever we want to call it, I'm going to continue doing it because the content is being consumed and it is being, stuff seems to be working, but, I'd rather not just, leave my impressions of what's working, what's not to chance. So if you have any questions, send them my way. If you have any comments, leave me a review, tweet me, whatever, at me, bro, or, sorry, I'm just using a phrase. What's the female? At me, bro, or, don't at me, bro, or male or female, both. I'm trying to use a gender neutral, version of that expression. Anyway, take care. Thanks for listening. At me if you're listening to this. Take care. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. If you liked this content, please help me out by leaving a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. It provides me with encouragement and it helps other people find the program. Also, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer on the podcast, go to asknomics.com, leave me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it in the next few days. Thanks for listening, and see you tomorrow.